Hello. Hi there. Welcome to StarCast, a Star Citizen podcast. And I'm joined tonight with Trendane, Pancakes, and Core of Existence. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
And Trendane's deciding to use forceps as
Hemostats.
I can't see from. He's trying to convince me he's not using it to smoke weed.
No, it's for the opera.
Oh, very opera. Very good. I still think you're smoking weed with it, but
I can't smoke weed. It gives me migraines.
That's right. We talked about this before.
Smoke hashish, it said.
Yeah, that's why I told him hashish is way better.
Mm-hmm. I don't think my housemates have dispensary cards for hash. So
it's too bad. Too bad. See,
I do.
Yeah, well, you live a little bit further away.
That doesn't really count.
All right, guys. So a lot of stuff happened. How many millions of dollars did we go up, or did Star Citizen go up in the past week? Yeah, it would be nice if we went up.
I didn't see any of it. What the hell?
Great.
Well, since the Hornet came out, it was probably around 700-ish.
Yeah, we jumped up big time. Or Robert Space Industries.
700 million.
$700,000. Looking at the graph, it shot up crazy over the last couple of days. Everyone's trying to get them their Hornets.
Yep.
So, I guess we can go ahead and go to our first topic. Before we get started, though, real quick, a little bit of housekeeping that we usually do. This is a live show right now. It won't be live when you're watching it later. I hope that doesn't confuse you too much. But while it's live for right now, all you have to do is send in a question on the chat. We're watching this on Twitch. Put it in the brackets. And in the bracket, you say question, and then the person who is watching the Twitch, this happens to be Mr. Pancakes, is going to grab that question up and put it into our Q&A later on at the end of the show. All right. Hey, welcome, Metallica for Life. Welcome to your first StarCast. Our first question is...
We already have a question, Trendane. Would you like to answer it?
Does Trendane have a photo shoot on Saturday?
Yes. Well, which Saturday? This Saturday? No, I have a photo shoot rehearsal this Saturday.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So...
Practicing.
No.
Zener Buffin said, is this show really live or is it all a clever ruse? Now, he wrote that 2 weeks ago when we recorded this show.
Yeah, it's actually a ruse.
It is a ruse, and now we're playing that back at that point.
Zener Buffin.
That's the way we roll.
Is that why we're doing Q&A now at the beginning of the show?
No, we're doing it...
Because it's actually 2 weeks ago that we did this part?
We did this part. All right, so updates from last week. What came out that was new and exciting from SIG, Cloud Imperium Games?
SIG?
What's that, Pancakes?
I was saying SIG.
Oh, SIG.
Sorry. That's all I got.
Well, in the past week, we got the new Hornets, which are the 3 Hornet variants that are currently out, which is the Ghost, the Tracker, and the Super Hornet. And we also got a patch for the hangar to view said Hornets in the hangar themselves. Beyond that, we got a new stretch goal, which some people are going to be looking forward to, and other people are like, why the fuck is this a stretch goal?
Probably because they were traumatized as youth going to Disney World and riding a monorail, and they said, I can't do that. I'm terrified of monorails.
Yeah, that was kind of...
Monorails, best thing ever.
It was...
saying. Traumatized people...
It was so funny when they talked about the public transport system, and they talked about intersystem and interplanetary transportation, and then the first concept art they show is a monorail for intraplanet transportation.
It's a very fast monorail.
Yeah, of course.
But somebody did have a question once on our show that asked, would they ever do some kind of like Floston Paradise planet? The question was, would they ever have some sort of really cool ship that you could ride around like a Carnival cruise liner? And I think they did say in this that they were, one of the parts of the stretch goal was that they were going to have
Starliners.
Starliners.
How the hell do you do an intra-planet? Not an interplanet, because I was like, it's going to be really stretchy.
Well, you could have the monorail go right into space, and it sort of launches off the end of the monorail and flies in space till it gets to the next part, and it hooks up and lands.
We call that a lac mag, and no, it's just... or a mass driver. We're just going to shoot people at your planet.
Yeah.
No, but intraplanetary.
Intraplanetary. All right. Yeah. So there's stretch goals. Very exciting. Letter from the chairman. Basically, enhanced capital ships. We're just talking about, in addition to the command and control systems we've already outlined, we're going to expand capital ship functions, lead a damage control team to fight fires and repair key systems during battle, control internal bulkheads to slow borders, and man a number of consoles like navigation and engineering that will make commanding a capital ship feel even more immersive.
That sounds a bit FTL, doesn't it?
Sounds very FTL. And also, I can imagine having a lightsaber and shoving it into the bulkhead and cutting a hole in the door.
Look, it's a lockpick.
Exactly. I want lightsabers as a stretch goal, damn it.
Lightsabers would be pretty awesome.
It would be pretty awesome. So, yeah, that's the 26 million stretch goal. What's 25? I forgot what 25 is already because we're going through them so quick.
25 is the advanced alpha, or whatever it's called.
Right. Yes, the advanced alpha, so that they can test a wider variety of things.
Not too exciting, in my opinion, but
Well, it depends. Maybe that means that they're going to spend more time on the dogfighting module and put Idrises in there. We don't know if that's what it means, but if that's what it means, then yes, awesome. If that's not what it means, then boo.
yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Did you guys see? I want to put a special shout out, just talking about stuff that happened last week. One of the guys who also does YouTube videos, his name is Anything FPS.
Oh, yeah.
He does great videos.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody hasn't seen him yet, go watch them because he's a regular viewer of this show and he comments on my videos and a lot of other people's videos. But his work is amazing, and they offered him a job at SIG.
Yep.
Sorry, didn't Wingman say, "Dude, you haven't answered your email"?
Yeah. Which,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Which means he's probably holding out. I think he should anyway. Be like, guys, I don't know. Maybe. I'll think about it for a couple weeks.
170 million's not enough.
Yeah.
Judging from the skills that he has, he's probably he was a CryEngine developer at some point. So that means he does have the skill to work on Star Citizen for sure.
Absolutely. He's pulling off stuff that I just keep dreaming about. Like, I started making a video the other day where I wanted to have a freelancer land on the moon, and I'm actually still working on it. But it took me like 4 hours, and it's literally just a 2D ship I cut out to land on the moon. It looks like it's 3D the way the camera's set up. But anyway, yeah, he's like flying through space. He's doing all this stuff. He's really good.
Yeah.
So, very excited for him. Even if he doesn't pick it up, he's definitely getting noticed by the guys at SIG.
Yeah, definitely.
Unlike the rest of us making videos day in and day out, and they haven't mentioned us once. But hey, I'm not bitter.
I want all I can say is I want Anything FPS's hangar because that thing looks fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did. Oh yeah, by the way, he did have. It is available for download. He has. You can download the Connie, and he shows you how to install it. So even if you don't own a Connie, you can still open it up in your hangar.
Yep.
Which is awesome, and I'm thinking about doing that anyway because I don't have a Connie, but I'm looking at one. Maybe down the road a little ways.
Well, don't wait too long. November 26th is coming up quick.
Mm-hmm.
What is that date?
The LTI cutoff date. Any ship bought after this period will not contain LTI.
Oh. I don't think I have LTI. I mean, I have the freelancer, but it's...
Well, I would
like
like to point out that the guild that you're in, the TeamSpeak that you could join sometimes, there's people on there that will assist you in the transfer of LTI.
We'll do that. So that's Star Citizen Base, everybody. The Imperium.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right, so let's go on with our first actual topic tonight, which is commercials. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the two new commercials that came out in the last week or so. One is the Aurora and one is the Anvil. And we'll watch one commercial that we'll talk about what we saw in it, what we think about it, and then we will be back right afterwards with the next one. We'll go to the Hornet next. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this up, and I'll mute our mics so that we don't make any noises while we're listening to the commercial.
Yeah.
All right, be right back.
So I was looking at the new Aurora, but then I was thinking, maybe I should get something that looks a little classy. But then I was like, no, I need something that can pull some serious weight. Maybe I don't need all that cargo space. What about the Legionnaire? Now we're talking. How about some bigger guns? Little bigger. No, little bigger. There you go. And maybe some rockets, too. Actually, I should probably upgrade the power plant. I did like the leather seats on that LX, though. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's see what this baby can do. Cargo.
RSI's Aurora. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
All right, guys, so what do you think?
Well, it can at least avoid asteroids in this video.
Not shoot itself.
It was. It reminded me sort of like an Apple commercial, didn't it? It was sort of like kind of hipster.
It was a cross between the Sims commercials and the Apple commercials. It had both undertones, as in, you know, if anyone has seen like the Sims advertisements on TV come rolling around, they have the exact same tone, as in you see a guy and then it just swaps out his clothes, and then you see a house, and then the house gets added things on, and it's kind of happened. It kind of works the same way for this commercial, and the music is not exactly action-y in it,
no.
So
it's
it
very
fits.
kind of friendly, kind of I'm having my nice spaceship and fly around. Sorry, we should not mention Sims or any other EA game in the presence of Trendane. I think he started heaving over there.
Boycotting.
This is why I've made a special mention to The Sims.
Yeah. All right, what do you think there, Mr. Trendane? What do you think?
Well, I unfortunately I would completely agree with Core. Because when he just mentioned Apple first, I was like, yes, it's very Apple. Aside from the fact that you can customize it in any way, shape, or form.
Ooh, burn. I don't have a lighter, but burn.
I don't have my super jeweler torch with me, so it's so adding the thank you.
On cue.
Adding the other part to it,
Sims.
Great, now you're making me dance like Janet Jackson. No. So there, I guess that kind of covers my opinion there, I think.
All right, pancakes.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think?
I would tend to agree with Core that, you know, we had the nice Hornet commercial come out right after that, so.
And they did come out with the brochure, which is nice because I'm
kind of very nice.
I was planning on covering all of the ships once we had a lot of information on them, and I think I can probably do a video now on the Aurora because there's a commercial and the brochure.
However,
I like the commercial. I like that they've sort of like set it to a different tone.
You think? Because we're gonna watch the Hornet one next, and that one has a definitely different tone.
Yeah.
Hey, girl plays MC. Girl to. Hello. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to watch the Anvil one up next. Here we go.
Legendary fighter pilot Aria Riley once said, "Give me a fully loaded Hornet, and I'll shake the gates of heaven." Anvil Aerospace's Hornets have faced Vandal, Xi'an, pirates, and criminals. More combat time and kills in more theaters than any other ship in the history of space combat. Battle-tested in the harshest conditions, the Hornet has proven time and again its ability to withstand damage and still be able to dish it out. With all the punishment it handles on a daily basis, don't you think the new Hornet can handle yours?
Honey, I got the ice cream you wanted.
Anvil's new Hornet F7C. See your authorized ship dealer for options.
From a local dealer today.
All right. So, kind of a nifty shopping spree the guy went on to get some ice cream.
Yeah. What neighborhood he went to?
That was one of my questions. He must love that woman. Something fierce.
She's one of the triple-breasted whores of Eroticon 6.
She's probably carrying a Vandal child and is like craving some really fracked up kind of ice cream that he's got to go to like some really freakish system to be able to. It's got like live frozen larvae in it and stuff. And she's,
just remember, space ice cream might not be made out of cow milk.
Ooh, good point.
Is it made out of bull's milk?
I hope not.
Because that would be.
You lost Pancakes. You have killed Pancakes. He's dead. Long live the Pancakes. Oh, man. So anyway, what did you guys think of the commercial?
Thank you.
We saw one video where the Aurora nicely dodged all the asteroids, and then we had another video where it just flew into an asteroid. So either, the Aurora is not that great for dodging asteroids, or
I was piloting it.
Or could we say that there is actually a tiny bit of skill involved with this game?
No, we can't.
A monicum?
No, you just have to buy the best ships. That's why.
Right. Like if you were in a Corvette, you just would have blown up all the asteroids in the area and just flew straight.
Yeah, probably.
You didn't have the turn. We'll get to that next. We're going to come up to a new topic in just a minute.
Spoilers.
The pilot sucked. Yes.
The funny thing about the commercials is actually that in the first one, you had the real Vive, and even in the original 300i one, they just showed the 300i, or they just showed the Aurora. Whereas in the Hornet one, it's just like, no, fuck the competition. We're just going to show the competition fly into an asteroid and then get its ass handed to us by the 8 weapons that are on the Hornet. It can, of course, have 10, but I didn't see it fire any missiles, so let's not talk about those two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it basically what you see in the video is a little bit of propaganda for the Hornet, as where a lot of debate has actually sparked from, which is saying that the Hornet is overpowered. Yet
we haven't even got in the game yet. How do we know it's overpowered? I love these people that are freaking out about this stuff right now.
Anyone that had actually read the ship specifications before this commercial came out or before the variants came out knew that the Hornet could field up to 10 weapons. Yet now that there's a video about it blowing up the cheaper ships, it's like now it's overpowered.
Because you were asking people to do something that most people don't usually do. Read.
Yeah, no, true.
Yeah, we don't do that kind of thing here in America.
We don't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, Trendane, what did you think of the commercial, the Hornet commercial?
The comparison between the two, very different vibes between the two commercials, which I thought was really cool because, especially for a game that is trying to push the concept of you can, whatever kind of game experience you want to have, we'll have it. You've got the more peaceful version, and then you've got the thing. Mm-hmm. For this particular commercial, one of the things that struck me is that some of the stuff that the AI was doing was a little bit behind. Like, for example, you're in the cockpit view, and a missile goes by and explodes on an asteroid, and the AI says, hostile. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Thank you. I'm fully aware of that. I would like to have seen during the threading the needle part, going through the thing, I would like to have seen that the hole was too narrow for the ship and that it folded its foils back so that it could fit. I would like to have seen that called out specifically in this thing. I think that would have made it a little bit even more cool than it was. There was something else about, I can't remember what it was now.
The 300i that just flew in a straight line?
Another bad pilot.
Oh, it was the sound of the engines. I really liked the sound, even though there shouldn't be any in space, but I still liked it.
Yeah, I was watching Star Wars the other night, and it's just kind of one of those things where you're just going to have to just
suspension of belief.
Unless it's the Sonic Mines scene, because that was freaking amazing. In the whichever of the first 3 movies, whether it was episode
those. They don't count for Star Wars for me.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, there's Ben Kenobi's flying through he's chasing Jango Fett. He's flying through an asteroid field, and you hear nothing, and then there's this. I was like, God! Watching that in the theater was absolutely orgasmic. It was fantastic.
Metallica for Life says episode 2, and hello Oda-Ken. Sorry, some little shout outs.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I thought they're really great commercials. I think both of them kind of fit the type of person that might want to buy them. I don't think that a person who's really into combat will really want to go for the Aurora. But they made the Aurora seem cool and hip, which is nice because that's kind of a problem. People who are starting out with an Aurora, they're going to feel like they're just crap in the universe, and they're not. But they're going to start out with that sort of feeling, so they kind of made the Aurora feel, like if you're in Aurora, you're in a pretty cool ship, and you can always upgrade it, which is something that they wanted to pass out there.
Interesting fact about the Aurora that has now been sort of obscured because the information was on the old RSI website, is that the Aurora is actually based off the original first jump-capable ship from 800 years ago.
Okay.
And it's kind of its spiritual successor. So in that sense, it is a good starter ship because it was literally the first ship that ever jumped through the gate. But it's still modeled after a 700-year-old ship, and the Hornet's modeled after a 200-year-old ship. So there is a difference in quality there.
Yeah. All right, well, good. That was a good thing. Anything for you, Mr. Pancake, specifically about the Hornet commercial?
I do very much so like the Weekend Warrior idea, though that's not anything new. So there you go.
Okay.
I like the pew-pews.
The pew-pews were very good in that commercial.
It's actually interesting to note, sorry that I'm cutting in, it's actually interesting to note that none of the current Hornet variants have the canard turret, which fits under the nose, but they're optional on every single one.
And I did notice that they hid the fans. Well, mostly. They're still there, but they're behind the grill on that one.
On the Super Hornet, yeah.
Probably because it's causing so much contention. Just like there's no sound in space, there's no air, but we won't go there now. All right.
Like the fans.
All right, so now we're going to enter into a realm of discussion which causes so much hate and misinformation and name-calling. On my channel, I made a video, just before we get into it too much, but it actually is on topic, so I can talk about it. But I made a video explaining how Star Citizen, in my opinion, was not pay to win. And I explained it that way. I said, this is why I think it's not. I've been called pretty much every name you can think of by all these people that find my video and just blast me for it. I mean, they are tearing me up, saying I'm an idiot, and a lot of worse names than that, that I don't understand pay to win is. And all I'm getting is that these people don't understand the whole concept of the game. Like, this is not the way the game is going to operate when it's released. Like, when it's released, you're not going to be able to buy ships for real cash, are you?
No. You will be able to buy a daily limit of UEC, but that's mostly, they've done that out of a, like, they're going to limit it to a reasonable amount, just so that if, say, you come back to the game and you have absolutely no cash and no ship, you can at least buy something to get started again. But again, we're not talking about amounts that can instantly buy you any ship.
That's where I think the confusion comes in, is because they think that if you have enough money, you can right now buy an Idris and every other ship in the game, and then when the game comes out, it's the same exact way. They don't get that this is what they're giving us as sort of a reward for financing the game right now. Like, this is a reward for us by giving us a freelancer or what these other ships with these insurance policies.
I mean, crowdfunding is nothing new, but crowdfunding has nothing to do with pay to win. If there was something, and this is an interesting point, if there was something that we could get that other people can't, then the only topic of discussion would be LTI, and more specifically LTI on a Vandal site, because that's something most people won't be able to get in the game. Now, Chris Roberts has already retconned that statement and said there will be sort of shady companies that will give you basic insurance on a Vandal site. And LTI in itself has already been retconned to the point where, yes, 5 years from now, for instance, 5 years after the game comes out, if you break your ship, you'll get it back the way you pledged for it. However, if you have a ship with basic insurance, like for instance a 300i, and you get that blown up, you'll get whatever the next model in the line is. So that could be a 400i or a 500i, whatever the current model is that Origin is currently shipping for that type of craft. So basic insurance in the long haul is going to simply replace your old redundant ship with the newer model, whereas LTI will always give you back the old model that you had. So for the first year or so, I will happily admit that the people that have pledged will get a head start in that sense, and they will get ships that can get blown up almost free of cost, because if they don't upgrade it and just have it blown up, they get it back the way they got it, and you know, they don't lose any money over it because they don't have to pay for the insurance. But that's just, you know, it's like the premium version of a premium tank in World of Tanks, where those tanks aren't great. They aren't the top, and after a year they'll probably all be defunct or replaced or redundant, and then you can still make some money off them, but you know, the better ships are always going to handle better in PvP and stuff like that.
This brings up a point that Siberian just says. It's a question of how you define pay to win, and I think that's part of the issue here, is there really is no definition. And I made a joke on one of my comments. The guy wrote this really nasty comment to me, and I was like, well, look, I looked it up on the pay-to-win definition, and the pay-to-win definition says that I'm right. Well, there is no pay-to-win definition. There is nothing that says this is exactly how pay-to-win works. Because I am giving it with my opinion of what I think pay-to-win is. My opinion is just as valid as you saying that pay-to-win means that if you buy anything in the game and they give you something, then that's pay-to-win.
Yeah, a lot of people, the general consensus, which is actually funny because it's not what most people think, but the general consensus is pay to win is that you pay for something that other people cannot get through any normal means.
Right.
Yes.
That's my definition too.
And some games in the past, like 5 years ago, they use this model and they've been, ostracized for it.
Was it Silk Road was one of them, I think?
Yeah, for instance, a lot of old school MMORPGs that went from a subscription-based model to a free-to-play to a pay-to-win.
Right. You could buy the best sword in the game that nobody else could even earn. That, in my opinion, is pay-to-win because therefore it is. You're paying for something you can't get. As hard as it would be for you to get an Idris Corvette, there is still a way for you to be able to get one in this game. However you go about getting it, you can still get one.
And let's not forget, just because you're one player doesn't mean that you as a clan or as a guild or as a group of people can't get an Idris within a week, because you're all pooling together and you're all helping each other out. It's still possible.
That's the biggest complaint that people are coming up to me with. They're saying, well, all right, I have a freelancer, and they say, well, I'm starting the game out with an Aurora. It's going to take me thousands and thousands of hours to get that freelancer. Who says? We don't know how long it's going to take you. It could take you 5 runs and you're done. Now you have the same amount of money that I do having a freelancer. You have the same ship that I do. I had it a week longer than you did. So what?
Yeah.
I guess that's why they're getting a little bit fired up. What do you think, Trendane? You've been kind of quiet.
As much as it tends to cause flame wars, I think that people are being whiny little bitches about it quite often because they can't get what they want right the fuck now.
Right.
And the fact that, they could buy it as opposed to earn it, the hard way. They don't want to do that. They're impatient. It's just, this is going to get kind of not
go for it.
Political, but
I don't care.
Just don't
the
fact that
just don't say anything about Pelosi. Just anything that.
F that bitch, and I mean that in the most platonic way possible. Not as George Carlin said, I would not fuck her with a stolen dick. He was talking about.
Yes.
Anyway,
okay,
so
let's get back.
We've gotten to a point where we live in a disposable society of instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
It's if somebody cannot get what they want to win the game right now, it's pay to win. Because people have become so impatient, they don't want to spend the time to earn it any other way.
Well, let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't you think the rest of us here that have bought our ships are kind of in that category? Like, we're a bit impatient, and we want that awesome ship right now. Like, I want a Constellation. So I'm going to figure out a way to save up to buy one.
Uh-huh.
So aren't we sort of saying that those people are upset because they can't buy it and they're jealous, and that's why? But we all do want one of these right now, and that's why we bought one.
There's another comment to tack on to that, and that is, we have still worked for our money. It's not like we got this money for free in like a gift basket or something and then spent it on the game. No, we worked for this money anyway. So the fact that we are willing to fork over this money to, 1, support CIG, and to 2, get a head start, how does that factor in?
It is just a head start, too. I mean,
unless you just inherit your money.
Well, then you've inherited money, yeah. But it is a head start. I mean, there's plenty of games. There's MMOs. I'll use SWTOR for an example, right? SWTOR, if you were a early backer with, I think, the whatever level that you paid to get the game ahead, they gave you like a 2 or 3 week head start before everybody else. Like, I got to play that game before everybody else did. The servers were empty because I paid all this money for this super mega wowie edition, right? And then once the servers opened up, it became kind of a crazy thing. But I had a big head start. I was already level like 25 or 30 by the time the servers even opened. And people, I don't think they called that pay to win, but they're calling this game pay to win because for some reason I get to fly a ship before you do. And I can't make that connection. Maybe it's because I'm sort of biased about it because I have a ship and these people don't.
Well, Rhoda says it in chat that, Chris Roberts says that you don't win the game. You just keep on going.
But I think they're upset that the fact that they might be able to go out, they're flying around their little crappy ass Aurora that they
Don't
start
call
off
it
with.
that. That kind of lends credence to their argument.
No, I'm using that. I'm talking from their
I know,
viewpoint.
I know.
They're calling it, this is my crappy ass Aurora, and they're flying around this thing, and here comes some guy in this slick 300i, and they shoot him out of the sky. And they're like, well, wait a second, that's not fair. I had to start off with this crappy ass ship, and this guy who bought one just flew in and kicked my ass. What do you guys say to that?
Well, there's another argument for that, and that is... well, you want to go,
Go ahead,
Pancake?
Pancake.
Yes. If you want to buy the game at a normal price, which is $60, you get a 300i.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, if you want to pay like you normally would, which, you know, we're still technically backing it, so I guess it is kind of risky, but, you know, if you were to pay normal price, you'd be having a 300i and not a crappy Aurora.
That's when I bought my 300i. I said, I'm looking at this game. I'm really interested in it. What should I do to get in on the ground floor and then support it? And $65 is what a 300i costs, and that's what I pay for most of my new games that come out. So I thought, if I pay this, here, I'm supporting them, and I get this cool ship.
Yeah, Siberian K made an interesting remark just now about a head start can win you a battle against someone without that head start. Pay to win, that's what some people think. But the thing is, right, just because you weren't able to bypass the Aurora doesn't mean the people in your guild weren't able to. So unless the argument is straight up, one guy is pay to win and one guy is not pay to win, well, it might just mean that that one guy is not paying his fucking school tuition this year because he spent it all on a friggin' Idris. So there's arguments for both sides, and it's just, at the end of the day, it comes down to what you are willing to put into the game. And for me, I'd like to save time with money, and other people would prefer to spend that time grinding. But again, it's a personal choice. It's not like, you know, one is worse than the other.
Absolutely. I'm playing a couple free-to-play games right now that they keep asking me if I want to buy some things, and I just say no. Like, I'm playing World of Tanks right now, using it as an example a minute ago, and I'm playing that, and I'm not on purpose not buying anything so that I can sort of work my way up to this really awesome tank, and I'll know that I earned it. And there's some people that are not going to do that with Star Citizen. You can right now fund it. You can, without even getting a ship, you can just give them $5, and therefore you're a backer, and therefore you're helping out the game, but you're not getting a ship. And then when the game comes out, you can start off with your lowest level ship and work your way up. And if that's the way you want to play, cool. But don't beat up everybody else that want to somehow fund it for more money and get a better ship.
Because
And of course,
you are impatient.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you got to remember the people that don't pay, the people that don't buy into it, are not supporting the server costs that go into it. I mean, I know that's like a very thin argument because they're making a lot more money than their servers actually cost. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if everyone had the mentality, I'm going in this free to play, then World of Tanks would sit there going, we're not making any money, we're going to shut this down.
Yeah. And there has been, I've seen some studies, we talked about this before on other shows and even on this one, that people will spend more money every month on microtransactions than they will on a subscription.
Yep.
So, all right. That everybody has said their piece with this? All right.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so real quick, before we go on to our next topic, remember, everybody, if you want to ask a question for the Q&A session, we'd like you to ask them soon, because later on it's a little hard to get the questions in at the very end if we think we've only got 10 questions and 10 more come in at the very end. So please just put your question in brackets, just write the word question in brackets, and Pancakes will grab it up and stick it in the chat so we can do these questions. So, all right, Pancake, I want you to sing a song. That's good enough.
But not happy
it's a
birthday.
small world after all.
And redacted.
Yeah, take that back. We're losing viewers. Like 7 people just left.
Now we got 30. What have you done?
Real quick.
Oh, that's all right. We'll just get in the Disney crowd. It's good.
Pancakes is going to BlizzCon. I'm super jelly.
What flavor?
Grape.
Concord grape or that fake purple?
No,
grape?
Concord for sure.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Theory crafting.
Yay.
Yay. So, I have no idea what you guys wanted to talk about with this, so I'm just going to let you take the wheel, Mr. Core.
I thought Trendane had some questions that he would like to ask.
Questions.
Oh.
Did you?
Okay. I do. Yeah, I do have a couple. I just didn't. I thought we were going to cover it in the Q&A section, but that's okay. It's okay.
No, we were going to talk about. There was something you guys said you wanted to talk about. So I
right. Yeah, I've got several things here. Sorry, were you about to say something, Core?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. For one, just for my own sanity, is okay. So it's Cloud Imperium Games is making the game, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now RSI
is a fictitious company that
within the game.
Yes, that makes several of the ships. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And for some reason,
using them interchangeably.
They worked out a way to like sell other companies' ships and make all the profit for it.
Yeah, there's some kind of scam going on with that.
Google. Excuse me.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Google. They rape you both directions.
We call that spit roasting. And so there was
I didn't need to know that.
Focus. So I recently recorded the narration. Well, I started recording the narration for the Origin Jumpworks Corporation. And
before we go on with that, tell everybody about what you're doing, so that there's some new viewers here tonight that might not know what you're talking about.
Oh well, for you new people. One of the things that I do is I take the galactic guides that are posted on the RSI forums, which is apparently not the CIG forum. See, this is where the confusion comes in for me. And so I take the galactic guides, which feature data on all these different star systems and companies and historical data points and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And since, as we've already covered in this particular episode of the podcast, there are a lot of people who don't like to read. So it is therefore the responsibility of narrators and voice actors like myself to go through and narrate the things so that you can just be flying along in your interspaceship name here and just let it play. Now, the ultimate dream is to have that part of your starship's AI. You can just call up a library entry on whatever system you're going to, or maybe you're sitting in a bar and you're Moby-Glash, like, I want to go over to Keel. What's in the Keel system? And you open up your Moby-Glash and it tells you and everything like that. So the most recent of the narrations that I've been working on is the one for Origin Jumpworks. And in that article, one of the things that it says is it's specifically talking about piracy, the company's position on piracy. And it says the 300 series is never a smuggler or aggressor. And it makes me wonder, will the NPC company, if you as a player character are a pirate and you are known to be a pirate, good luck getting into UEE space anyway, but if you go to the showroom on Terra or in New Austin or Prime, the cities there, mm-hmm. And you go to the dealership, if the company knows that you're a pirate, will they refuse to sell you a ship?
Well, judging from what it says, yes.
Or you could say that money is money and they won't ask questions.
Well, that's where the theory crafting comes in. I mean, how far is the gray market, which only wants money, and the black market, which specializes in contraband, gonna be a factor? Because of course you'll have the gray market NPCs, which are basically like all profit all the time. We don't care if you're evil or good or makes no difference. Just give us money. And you're going to have the black market, which, of course, deals in all the shit that's supposedly illegal, scrubbed chips, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be able to get it that way as well. But the question is whether or not the gray market is going to be an overarching theme, or if it's just going to be there's one or two companies that do that sort of stuff.
With Origin, it would... I mean, the reputation is kind of on the line there.
Yeah.
So they would...
Yeah, but I mean, you could have a pirate that steals one. I mean, as far as I know, the 300 is not the greatest pirate ship out there anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me read the full paragraph. It'll give us a better context.
Read the paragraph and do it in your voice.
I'm going to.
Yes.
I'm even turning towards the microphone, so it sounds.
All right, everybody, be quiet. We're listening to Trendane.
This is how I actually record them.
Okay.
And I reserve the right to screw this up because I haven't pre-read it in a while. The only standard is the customer. Origin makes a clear point not to associate their craft with piracy. The company spends billions on anti-piracy efforts and has been known to refuse sale to pirates attempting to purchase their craft in person on Terra. Erstwhile rogues should not fear, though, as secondary market for the 300 series spacecraft is robust. Nevertheless, the effort is largely paid off. The 300 is known as a law-abiding bounty hunter ship at its roughest and is never an aggressor or a smuggler. I transposed some of those, but
it works.
Yes. And yes, Jareth, I will do the voice if they allow custom voice packs. I will do the voice for your itters.
That would be cool. I had one for my TomTom. It was what's his name? Eddie Izzard was doing my TomTom.
My voice. God,
it was so awesome. It was really great. So yes, I'd love to have custom voice packs. That'd be cool.
Eddie Izzard.
That'll be the $50 million stretch goal.
That is. Eddie Izzard is doing your voice pack. All right. So that's good. Go ahead, Core.
Probably the manufacturer or any, Origin dealer will not sell to roguelikes. But again, like I said, it's a question of how much they're going to extend into gray market, which is probably going to be dealers that sell all kinds of ships and don't really care about your affiliation. Mm-hmm. And you're also going to have black market who, of course, really don't care and just want money.
I mean, there might be used ship dealers.
Yeah.
It's just like there's used car dealers, and maybe Mercedes won't sell to a drug dealer, but drug dealers are going to get that car either way. So, yeah.
Or maybe UEE is going to do what modern police forces today do, where, they take over ships or find wrecks of pirates, and just at the end of the month hold this huge auction for all this stolen contraband and stolen ships that they've got for extremely low bidding prices, and just say, all right, we've got all this, we impounded it, give us money and we'll give you this stolen contraband. I mean...
See, in that case, I would expect that Origin would, given their position on piracy, that they would have a contract specifically with the government that their craft don't get offered up like that. That they get returned back to the thing, they get refurbished, whatever, something like that. But I mean, I would imagine that part of the billions of credits to fight against piracy, that's probably part of it.
It would be awesome if they had auctions like that, though. I mean,
I agree.
Awesome. All right, so we've gone an hour now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. I'm going to stop the broadcast, and we will come, because last time I put it up, it had a 5-minute break in the middle, and everyone got all upset. So I'm going to stop the broadcast this time, but we will be right back. While we're gone, please put the questions in, because we're going to question and answer time when we come back. We'll be back in 5 minutes, and we'll go on for as long as it takes to go through all the questions. All right? So we will see you all very, very soon. Be right back. And we are back.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Hello. All right, so now it is time, no more for theory crafting. We are doing our Q&A time. All right, Mr. Pancakes, read off the questions, please.
Okay. So from Phaser or Fiazor, he's asking, how much have we pledged, each one of us?
I'll start first because I'm in the upper left. 125. I have a freelancer.
What direction are we going?
You go next.
Okay. I have pledged 0.
but he's going to get a free Idris for doing the voiceover work.
I don't want an Idris. Can I have 3 freelancers just in case 2 of them get blown up?
All right, we'll work that out with
Okay.
Sig.
I'm going to pledge. I just don't have the money for it right
That's
now.
all right. Fair enough. Pancakes.
I have pledged 195.
What ships do you have?
I have the 300i and the Hornet, the basic Hornet.
Okay. And Mr. Core?
I've pledged over 1,500.
Right. Which ships do you have?
I have a Retaliator, Caterpillar, Constellation, 2 Super Hornets, and some other random assorted stuff.
So we could say you are probably the most invested in the game from this group.
From the people in this podcast, yes. From the people that I'm currently sharing a TeamSpeak with, I'm not even close.
No.
Which,
There's a scary fact right there.
But do you have fish?
I do
Oh,
have
he
fish.
definitely has fish.
Oh.
He probably has the big hanger.
I also have the buggy ramp and everything.
nice.
It's on my Twitch channel.
Yes. So you guys can go watch that in a little bit. Very good. And Odaken, while we were at break, he says, put my face on the front of your ship like they do with the teeth on the A-10 Warhog. I'm all for that, for the 40 million stretch goal.
You mean the green Geekdomo
The green
logo?
Geekdomo, I'm hoping, because these teeth are just not worth it.
One day.
Then you would have a ship with no teeth.
Yeah. Meh.
That's not acceptable.
No,
I'm
okay.
gonna gum this asteroid to pieces.
All right, Pancakes, next!
Next up, we have from Gur2 Plays Mine MC, even. Does this game require an NVIDIA GeForce or any other high-quality graphics card to play this game?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, but we cannot tell you which one because it's a year and a half away.
And in a year and a half, it will be the 800 or 900 series NVIDIA cards, and we'll be in the 10,000 series ATI cards or something.
If you have an upper level last generation card, I think you're good for dogfighting.
Yeah.
But
770
that-
is about a good one for right now. If you want to get a 770, they say that should be bare minimum at least in release.
or quad SLI 590s. That's
That'll
that's
work too. Never have too much.
Or do what I used to do with the old MechWarrior games and just switch everything to wireframe mode. So you don't have to render any textures and shit.
Wireframe mode would be so OP. Like you could see everything. It'd be like in the Matrix. All right,
All right.
Pancakes, next.
We have an interesting topic on Star Citizen Base now. All the AI HUD warnings and course corrections showed on the little screen during the commercial are looking great. Do you think they'll be an important part of gameplay?
I believe for immersion's sake, because it is Chris Roberts and his first and foremost goal is immersion. I think they'll play a pretty big role.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I think so too. I'll be
But I
interested.
also
Especially-
think. Sorry, I forgot to say something. I also think, however, that in the video we saw it very visually as it came in as an extra 3D display. I think there might also be an option just to have a 2D HUD just to keep performance down.
Yeah.
Here's a question then. This is a sub question of the one was asked. How is a Oculus Rift going to work? Because if you have the Rift on and you need to type, if you look down, is a virtual keyboard going to pop up? Or is there going to be like some kind of HUD that comes up that you can move your...
Just learn to type.
I can type without looking at the keyboard. But there's some people who might not be able to, and it,
I can't.
right.
I type faster than I can see my fingers move because I know where all the keys are. I just don't have the confidence to really raise my head up, so
One day.
I have to aim.
It happened for me like automatically. Like I wasn't even thinking about it one day. I was looking at my fingers as I was typing, and then I just looked up to do something, and I actually just kept typing. And I was like, oh, it's like I just haven't learned a new language, and it was just amazing. But that was years ago.
I can do it. I don't. But what I would, I think the best, the eventually voice actor, and I can't speak. I think the best solution to that would be to have also the leap motion controller, so that as you reach out, you see your character's hands go out into the cockpit and tap on different stuff. I think that would be very cool.
Very cool, but probably not for release.
Probably not. That'll be the $100 million stretch goal.
Yeah, we need gloves. Yeah, some virtual reality gloves. Okay, next.
All right. Why would someone buy anything other than a Super Hornet?
Cora, I'll let you take that one because you have all of these ships.
I think I think it was a joke. So.
Oh, right. Well, either way, if you want to be a nice little cargo hauler person, you don't really want a Hornet. I mean, the fact that it can have a cargo on it or a big store-all pod on it that can carry 4 tons for you is a gimmick. It's not an actual feature. I think it actually slows the ship down and actually destroys its purpose. But you can, of course, go that way if you would choose to. I wouldn't.
You're sort of saying it's like a Ferrari with 4-wheel drive and big mud tires.
Yes, it's exactly like taking a Ferrari, ripping out part of the engine block or the turbo block, and replacing it with like a basket that you can put your patties in or something. Again, it's
I
not
see how you feel. Don't hold back. Don't hold back with this.
It's all out, bud.
Can we also put in a really kick-ass stereo system that will be all it plays is that Dan ice cream truck song? I think it's Turkey in the Straw. That's how stealth works. You just pipe that out on all channels, so that's all anybody gets.
Space. Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
Except for cool engine noises.
Yes.
Except for cool engine noises and that weird bloop 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 of the lasers. So it's weird.
So yeah, the answer is quite simple. If you want a dogfight, you don't need anything other than a Super Hornet. But if you want to do other things and actually make money, you're going to need something else.
Right.
All right, next one. What do you think that the new stations are for Capital Crafts are?
Well, they listed a couple in the stretch goal. But how in-depth or how far they're going to go in it, it's up to them. I mean, you could take a page from FTL and just go, yep, all these systems are in there now, but don't know.
We don't know. Sorry.
With the Hornet variants out, what are your expectations for the Freelancer variants?
Ooh. I want a Freelancer variant that has a disco ball in the cargo hold.
I want a pink one with hair on it.
That's
no
really
space
nice.
penis. No.
Depends on where the hair is, really.
Round
if
balls.
it's all back by the time.
So Cora's picking on us because we're like freelancer guys.
And the fact that image is appealing to me.
Why don't you have a freelancer core? In your list of ships, I did not hear you say freelancer.
Correct. Freelancer is not part of
It's
it.
a space penis.
That's exactly why. I mean, I don't have to overcompensate and buy a bigger penis. I mean, it's fine. I don't need to.
Whereas I am not compensating. I just like the big one.
Silver at that.
Just comes down to you, Joe.
I guess I'm compensating for something.
No, I think the Freelancer in its own right can do a lot of things, except when I look at the specifications for it and read the lore on it, it doesn't impress me even in the slightest. It doesn't matter that it's this giant space cock. I mean, it just doesn't impress me. I'm sorry.
But it has so much cargo.
No, it doesn't. It can fit one buggy, and that's about it.
No, it can load it up with all kinds of legal contraband.
But my Caterpillar and my Constellation can fit a whole lot more.
That's just a bunch of wasted space in that ship.
Is it?
Then obviously you're not carrying enough.
Okay, let's move on.
Never. Continue.
Fill it with 3-breasted whores, and you're fine.
We didn't really answer the question.
Yeah, what was the question again?
What do we think the variants are going to be?
There can't be a combat variant because the thing is a pig.
Not really.
No.
It is technically classed as a heavy fighter. I don't know why.
Well, maybe then
pigs can't fight.
So they don't have a back cargo area. They just take that one away, and that back cargo area is a solid engine. You're killing pancakes with your nonsense. You guys have derailed.
See, that's why we need a monorail. It's easier to get back on because there's only one rail.
Geek.
But I guess there could be like Chad's saying, a exploration variant and then a actual just cargo running variant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or if they were going to combat variant, then they could just like take half the cargo area out and put a big gun in there.
Turn into a bomber.
Turn into a bomber.
All right.
All that stuff. Okay.
So, when is the debut of the Cutlass expected?
Ooh.
And we don't know isn't a good answer.
Is that what they said in the question?
When it's ready is not acceptable, is what it says.
Oh,
Soon trademark.
yeah, I was just about to go back all the way to Codemasters days and, go soon.
It's got to be. I mean, if they actually had one that I could put in my hangar, I'd probably buy it by now, because it's a very cool looking ship. But all they have is the model that you can put in your hangar, right?
Ships are there.
Yep, that's all they've got at the moment.
Yeah. So the last one. Yeah. Soon.
Or we could go
All right.
back even further back to the Max Payne era when they said, when it's done.
All right, next up.
Okay.
What do you think initial dogfights will feature? Oh, do you think the initial dogfights will feature multiple people on a constellation?
The initial dogfights as
The initial alpha for dogfights.
I think the initial dogfighting alpha is going to see a lot of people flying around in auroras. Like when it first comes out, I think all we're going to have is a freaking aurora. And then modular stages during the alpha period, they're going to come out with new ships. And it's actually interesting because by doing it this way, people get a chance to fly every ship rather than have a plethora of choice and stick with the choice that they want to stick with.
Mm-hmm.
How big is a constellation?
It's rather large. It's about 65 meters, just a bit shorter.
Can you really dogfight in something that big?
Yes, because of its speed and versatility, it is technically still capable of dogfighting.
Okay.
It's also got the little other fighter that it shoots. So
51 meters, I'm sorry.
way to go.
Core, somebody was just asking me, what's the link to your Twitch channel?
Oh, right. I'll post it in there.
Okay, great.
Next
question.
Do you keep up with other fan media about Star Citizen? Who's your favorite? And have you thought about collaborating with any of them?
Mine is hands down anything FPS.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great show. And just from the technical aspect, I'm blown away by it.
Anything FPS.
Yeah, anything FPS.
No, that was my answer.
Oh, that's you too? Oh, okay.
No, I watch a bit of Dr. Hawk, not a lot, but there you go.
How about you, Trendane? You watching the other ones?
Not yet. I'm
Okay.
still looking for stuff. Like I said, I'm
Have you-
still very new to the thing.
Trendane, have you watched that guy that narrates all the transmissions?
Mm,
He's pretty good. You should check him out.
you don't mean Wingman?
No, I mean you.
Yeah. He's picking on you. He's basically trying to say
Oh, what a good one.
that didn't work so well. Sorry.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. All right, next question.
I'll just smoke some more.
Yeah, smoke another one. Smoke them, maybe got him.
I think those are all the serious questions we have.
Oh, okay.
Do we have silly questions?
Some silly questions?
Led Zeppelin or
Because I still have a few questions of my own if we need
Okay, yeah.
serious
no,
questions.
those
There
would
you
be
go.
good. Led Zeppelin or who? I'm a Zeppelin fan, sorry. Who's okay, but Roger Waters, no, he's from Pink Floyd. Who's the lead singer of The Who? Trendane, I'm looking to you because you're like the only other guy who's my age in this group.
The lead singer of The Who?
Yeah. The
I
Who.
believe
Daughtry.
that, I think that was David Lee Roth.
No, jeez, you're way off.
No? Was it Persis Kambata?
Roger Daltrey. Thank you, Jareth.
Was it,
And
was
Metallica
it-
for life.
Did he play
it-
James Bond? once?
No, stop. His voice is gone. He's trying so much, and it's just one of the things that singers don't have. That the musicians can keep playing guitar, drums, whatever for the rest of their life, and they only get better, right? Musician just goes down because their voice can't hold up to the power, especially like all the screaming they were doing in the Who. So
The power.
Zeppelin, they took a nice quiet exit on the way out, and all their music still is awesome. Okay, let's go on to the serious questions. Sorry.
silly question.
Trendane.
Oh,
on
my
you.
serious. Okay.
Yes, you're serious.
All right.
One of the ones was, for those of us who are looking to explore completely unknown empty space systems that have never been explored ever and are way out past any kind of civilized stuff, is there going to be regular maintenance that has to be performed on the ship? And let's say you're flying through an asteroid field, and like me, you accidentally screw up and kind of clip a asteroid because you're still not quite used to moving this hog around back and forth, and you get a minor hull tear in the back, and you have to go EVA to fix it. Is that possible? Now, I saw on the forums that someone had said that they're not going to put EVA in because of the risk that it would present to the player character. But I invite discussion.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head there. Because of the risk to the player character, your ship would literally be so easy to board if someone could snipe you away from your ship like that.
Yeah.
But then again, there's something to be said about scanning the entire sector and going, okay, it might be safe, as long as there are no ghost hornets flying around.
I think X3 did a pretty good job of EVAs.
I think also there's another risk that comes in is that if they start designing EVA now, it wouldn't be that big of an imposition since it's a CryEngine, but I think they might leave it for something that they could do later on, and not something that they want to start off with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be something added in.
But it's definitely interesting. It would add a whole new level of immersion to it. Detach you from your ship.
So right now, it's kind of going to be all or nothing. So basically, you're in your ship. If you're getting beat up or you hit an asteroid enough, it's just going to be your ship's there, then it's going to explode. There's not going to be a way for you to repair it from the inside. You can't go EVA, so...
No, Rotorax is correct. They have already confirmed EVA, but the question is whether or not we'll have it on release or whether they'll do it later.
And what about regular maintenance?
Back in the planet side, probably.
Somebody did mention having repair bots.
R2-D2. Odekin just said R2-D2.
Kind of thing, yeah. And again, most people, whenever they respond to this question, are usually like, just go to the garage. Fly back to the planet. If I am, 1,500 light years away from the nearest frickin' outpost, there is no garage. I'm just, what do I do? As an explorer, am I going to have
spare parts?
Either spare parts or a way to fabricate spare parts, a droid or something,
Call AAA.
There you go.
And then wait,
I'm in unexplored system 47.
We don't have a record of that ship. I know, I just discovered it. If you wait 16 days, my signal will get there, and then you can come and find me.
All right. What's another one?
Well, I've been reading Cassandra's Tears recently on the fan. I guess, is it fan fiction?
Yeah.
Whether it's official canon or not, but one of the things that it mentions is Cal he finds a breach in a Vanduul flagship hull, and he crawls inside, but he has to keep his spacesuit on because the Vanduul do not breathe oxygen. Now, I looked around before we recorded to try to find out, well, what do they breathe then? And I couldn't really find anything. The wikis there's virtually nothing there. But what it does say is that very little is known about them. So, obviously, because there's nothing on the wiki. But the artist guy who did a lot of the renders and the character model sculpture and whatnot, in his interview, he did talk about the fact that their bodies have adapted to living in space. Which then makes me think, so do they function for extended periods in a vacuum? And if so, how do they talk to each other? Because there's a scene in the thing where they are physically talking to each other, and they're communicating in Vanduul, and it's like, if there's no atmosphere there, how is that sound being transmitted? Some elements of the story don't quite jive. As a writer as well, I'm like, no, this is bad writing. This needs to be. And a lot of double adverbs, but we'll move on. So yeah,
telepathy. Odekin says telepathy.
Yeah, they're like.
But see, it's very clearly stated that it's not telepathy because there's a human that speaks Vanduul in that thing. So
nanobots.
They're just like broadcasting telepathy.
xCloud says drow hand language, pheromones in space, space pheromones.
Which Domo said that they probably breathe methane, which brought up the fact that they're hanging around the tail end of space cows. So
That's a good point. It's how we refuel our ship.
Sell space cows to the Vanduul.
Oh, Metallica got it.
Make a killing.
Midichlorians. The answer for everything.
Of course. Duh.
The answer for, I mean, we don't need force powers. We just little robots that are living in our blood.
that's what's causing all the hostilities between the Vanduul and the UEE. Is the fact that they breathe methane and we're trying to harvest it for fuel.
That could be it.
That's it.
Or for ice cream.
Or methane ice cream.
Delicious.
Oh, you got that question from Shy or Sky High?
I do indeed.
Okay, let's go to that one.
Okay, so back to the previous question of the cargo hold in the Hornet. Will it actually affect the weight of the cargo, and is its placement affect the flight dynamics of the ship, or is it calculated with an arbitrary number?
I thought they were using real Newtonian physics in this game. What do you
Hope
guys
they
think?
are.
Yeah.
They are,
So
yeah.
the weight and where you put it on the ship should affect the way it flies, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's all to be said. Yeah.
Yes. So there's your
Yes.
answer. Yes, it will affect the way the ship flies. That was easy. Very good.
And yeah, I don't have any other questions written down. So.
All right. So any other questions out there?
I think we have one from Jam2, which was, hypothetically speaking, EVA combat can happen during boarding actions, starbase combat, etc. So, I mean, as far as I know, that's the EVA that's been confirmed, is EVA combat, but how that actually works during, I couldn't say.
Odekin had a question. It's probably not epical. Is the question about painting the ship with my logo or my face? I don't remember. Anyway,
That's always important.
all right. So we'll go around the room here. Mr. Trendane, tell us about what's going on with you, your channel, all that good stuff.
Well, primarily I operate on my YouTube channel, which is Trendane, exactly as it's written right here above Core's head. And that's pretty much right. I'm Trendane on Twitter. And I have a Twitch channel, and I'm entertaining the idea of starting to record or stream myself recording the narrations, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. So
I'll watch it.
yeah, it would probably be really boring watching me read a paragraph 3 times and then read it a 4th time, recording it, and then taking it and editing it.
You just need like a naked dancing girl on the side of the screen
Why would I have one of those?
to keep the other people occupied while you're.
No, it's
reading.
not on your screen. It's like, you know.
Then you're
You don't need to
you're
look
not there
at
to
it.
watch me. You're not there to watch me in that case.
Well, we're listening to you as we're watching the naked dancing girl.
Okay, so we had a question coming from Odekin.
Oh, thank
Odekin,
God.
what
Will
was it?
ships have a CDU, or will they have moved past that to some other kind of human interaction?
What is a CDU?
I don't know.
Nerd.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, the processing computer on airplanes. Oh.
Oh,
We don't fly. Sorry.
We sail.
It's all fly-by-wire, I guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's.
yeah, I think so.
You probably where your eyes look, the way the guns will move. You know.
I mean, there will be some form of it, but whether or not, it'll be actual CDU or, some advanced version of it, I couldn't tell you.
Sorry, Odekin, we're not getting what you're asking. We're not getting what you're laying down. Not feeling it. All right, so pancakes. Tell us about your stuff.
Are you going to add any more stop signs to your collection?
Yeah, where did you get that stop sign? Is it legal?
That's my sister's. I actually don't know where
Oh
that's
yeah,
from.
your sister got it.
It's not me. Yeah, no, I just took that off of
Pancakes is
Street
going
corner.
to the MLG World Series out. No, MLS?
BlizzCon finals.
BlizzCon
WCS.
finals. But what's the series? It's just Blizzard.
WCS.
WCS.
It's Blizzard, yeah.
So he's going to go to the
But
WCS.
they combine
series.
it with the other premium tournaments, such as MLB or GSL.
Very nice. So he's going to the big game up there in BlizzCon. Very jealous.
Congrats.
We got a couple more questions coming in. Can fly-by-wire be disabled or destroyed while in combat?
No, they're integral to the way that the flight mechanics are going to work. However, it should be said there will be ways to remove some limiters from your ship, but this might have negative consequences for your body, as inertia still moves in space.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to target specific sections like thrusters and whatnot else.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, that's the best part. Shooting out of ships.
It has to do with the overclocking section, but they have not gone very deep into the removing of limiters in that sense. Specifically, safety limiters that limit you from killing yourself whilst making a U-turn.
That's fun.
But there will be ways to limit the amount of influence that the fly-by-wire has to make it more edgy.
Lumavox has a question, which is...
We've actually kind of answered before.
That's okay. Yeah, we can cover it real quick. Will joystick give an advantage in a dogfight comparing to a keyboard and a mouse? Like, you're talking like War Thunder, which the mouse is the most amazing way to fight in that game, where even a joystick doesn't work as well. I think personally that he's a hardcore gamer, and he's probably going to have us use a joystick. Joystick will give you more of an advantage than a mouse. I'm hoping.
Well, you know, the way that the actual mechanics allow, the mouse will always be superior. But that being said, the mouse will probably be limited to being somewhere on the same level as a joystick, if not slightly lower. And then again, we're talking about sensitivity and precision versus joystick controls.
So we'll call it free-to-play J to win.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you guys have to start looking for some joysticks. Get yourself a CH Products. They make good joysticks.
Yeah, I don't think the one that like I have that half the buttons are broken for is going to work.
Bill, you just became completely furry.
Oh.
It's trying to focus on you. It's not going to work. My eyes are hurting now. Okay, another question real quick. When is Pancakes going to start growing his beard?
Try every day.
He tries every day. He sits there and goes...
And then often shave it.
He makes it try to make his face puff out, and it doesn't work.
It comes out all patchy.
Yeah.
Get like a mohawk on your left cheek and then pattern baldness on the right.
He's trying to hide the fact he doesn't have a beard, is what he said. All right, Core, about your channel.
About my channel, yes. I have a Twitch channel that I've been working diligently on for the last couple of months. However, I am not currently streaming as much as I should be. I'm only occasionally streaming with the podcast and with when Hangar updates and stuff like that come out. The reason for this is very simple. It's because I'm getting married on November 15th. So I'm a little busy right now. But once all that hoopla is done with, I will be back to streaming full time, which will mean at least 2 to 4 hours every day. And hopefully, within 60 days, I can show you some of the dogfighting alpha. And in the meantime, check out my channel for new games that come out, because when, Assassin's Creed Black Flag comes out, which maybe no one here likes, or when the new Dark Knight or Batman thing comes out, I'll be playing all those games as they release.
No fapping from the females in the audience, please.
What?
Navy baby just wrote clap, clap, fap, fap, clap, clap. She's crazy. Yep. She's crazy. All right, question. Will the bars on station have open hours? We don't know. We don't know yet. Way too far away.
It's always happy hour somewhere.
Is there a galactic last call?
It's always 420 somewhere. Odekin says, quote of my career, no fap clapping from the females in the audience, please. There we go. It's going to be on my tombstone, everybody. All right, my channel real quick. It's Geekdomo. You're obviously watching my Twitch channel. If you want to keep abreast of all of the latest Star Citizen stuff, StarCast. No, not those breasts, the triple-breasted whores. No. Make sure you follow my Twitter channel, or my Twitter, which is just @Geekdomo on Twitter. because I'm crazy with Twitter, and I'll always update when I'm going to be streaming and all that. So if you guys want to catch my show, it's the best way to do it. Follow my Twitter, which probably most of you do anyway. All right, so I guess that's it for tonight, folks. Oh, question from Sky High. Where's your beer, Trendane?
I don't have any right now.
Because it's a Wednesday.
That's why I've been drinking. It's very, very, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. It's Wednesday, so. Which brings to mind another statement that somebody said earlier, that my English accent makes me go gay. I'm gay anyway. Doesn't matter whether I'm using English. And that was my Julian Clary. That was my Julian Clary impersonation. He's the one that talks like this all the time. And no, actually, that's Alan Carr. I beg your pardon.
That probably is more like Alan Carr.
Yeah, that's much more Alan Carr.
Can you do what's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, see, I can't think of his name now. My brain just melted. Go ahead, continue on, and I'll think of his name. Gordon? No, not Gordon Ramsay. He's not gay at all.
All he does is scream, "It's raw!" That's all he does.
It's filthy.
No. What's his name? He has a show. He's a very flamboyant gay man. Yeah.
Oh God, that's. Have you seen I think my favorite, and I use this term. It's the Sweet Genius is this reality show where they're making desserts and shit. The chef in charge of that, he is the gay Lex Luthor.
Ooh.
I shit you not. If you watch it, it's like if Lex Luthor were a flaming fag, that would be it right there. He was in the Israeli Defense Force, so I won't call him the gay Lex Luthor to his face because he could probably kick my ass in 37 different ways. But it is so amusing to watch him whenever he is talking about somebody's dessert because and it does not taste. There is no taste of chocolate in it, and you are no sweet genius. I love listening to him because he sounds so terminally gay. It's just God.
Graham Norton.
I know that.
I guess you haven't seen his show. Well, anyway, so you can't do an impression of him. That's okay. Anyway, let's move on. I guess we're done, right?
I was going to say, move on is tail slate. We're done.
Yeah. That's it.
Yay!
All right, thanks everybody for watching us tonight. I'm glad we had lots of people, and it was a really great show.
Make sure you tell your friends about the show and bring them next time.
Yes, bring a friend next time.
Else I'll ban you.
Maybe next time we'll give out a prize. Oh, when is the dogfighting module supposed to be released?
60 days from now.
60 days from now, we'll roughly.
It'll be between 60 and 90 days. I mean, we've been saying 60 and 90 days for about a month now. So,
any word on what ships we're going to be using in that? Are we going to be using our own ships, or are they going to give us all 300 eyes or something?
It will be in the same respect as World of Tanks or War Thunder is going to be, where you start off with the basic ships and you work your way up.
And the scores are not going to carry over, but some achievements will, right?
Yes, some achievements will. Like, for instance, you played in the dogfighting alpha, so you get a tiny little ribbon.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
All right, yes.
Can't wait achievements. Woohoo!
The Graham Norton effect. Everyone's saying you need to watch that.
Yeah, I was just looking up images of him. I've seen him, but I can't think of what he sounds like.
It's a great show. I laugh my ass off every time I watch it. All right, so it's it. We're done. Good night, everybody. We'll see you all very soon. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Be careless.
See you later.